Hi there, my name is Kaylee.
My name is Shay.
And we're tackling some big debt
in the Big Apple.
See, it's something. Something there would be nice.
That's true. Oh, whackity schmackity down. Happy Tuesday.
Hello and happy Tuesday.
Yes.
We are here to discuss high yield savings accounts and our high yield savings account specifically, and how we handle it on YNAB, which is the software you can see in a funny little box around us. You need a budget, which is just a real blast.
Yeah, it is. In a big way.
In a big way. It is Sunday night right now while we were recording this, so we're having a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, when this posts at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, we didn't have morning wine.
No.
Shay, what is a high yield savings account?
A high yield savings account is a savings account that has a larger percentage of interest attached to it than normal.
Would you say that it is a savings account that has a high yield?
Yes. It has a high yield. Jesus Christ.
We're not bankers.
No.
We have a high yield savings account with it's called Marcus. It's a Goldman Sachs bank. I'll put a little link below if you want to check that out. It's the same as any other high yield savings account.
Yes.
It really is. There's nothing special about it. It's an online focused bank, if you don't like that, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we use it to store emergency fund.
Yep.
Long-term sinking fund.
Yes.
And just any general savings that's going to be longer than, I'd say, 45 days is usually my kind of mental cutoff.
That's so specific.
Because I'm like 2 months is too long to leave something just sitting.
But 1 month is not long enough.
1 month is not long enough.
Okay.
So about 45 days is when I'm like, we should probably move this over. So let's take a look at the things that are in our regular budget.
Yes.
That live mostly in the high yield savings account, shall we?
Yeah.
So, again, this is YNAB. If you've never seen it before, big fans.
Yes.
Big fans. And I don't keep my high yield savings account on my budget. It's not like an on budget account.
But neither do I.
Neither do you.
Yeah.
You absolutely could do that. And then you would just have a little thing and you could put the money wherever you wanted. I prefer the money. I function better when I have money out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
If it's available to me,
we'll spend it.
It'll go. It just has a way. No matter how responsible we are, no matter how good of a track we're on, no matter how good the foundation, it'll just go.
If we can see the money,
little by little, it just into the ether.
Yeah.
So it is here. It is right here. Marcus, HYSA, high yield savings account. And this is where that lives. But it doesn't live, the money isn't on this budget for spending. So when I send money away to the high yield savings account, it counts it as spending.
Yes.
So my budget thinks that money's gone forever. And as far as it's concerned, it is. But I also have sinking funds and savings in our regular day-to-day budget that we save for month over month.
Yeah.
So we've got things like dental, medical, vision, our slush fund, savings for my nephew, savings for our wedding, all these things that we want to save for in the regular budget as part of our regular budgeting. But we also maybe these things, like ideally we're not spending $500 a month on dental.
Yeah.
But we want to have that money available if we ever need it. So we've got the kitty committee. This is a sinking fund for our cat's pet insurance deductible. Why is that so funny?
It's just so cute.
So we're saving up to, you see here, I limit how much we want to save to, $500.
Yes.
Dental, I'm not limiting because TFRs are expensive.
Yes.
Medical was going good there for a while. Travel, in a perfect world, we'd be saving long-term for travel, but that's not where we're at right now.
Certainly.
And Wyatt is my nephew, who we save his age every week.
Yes.
So all of these things we save for, and then when it hits a number that makes me feel itchy, like there's no specific. For these two, it was they both hit $400. I saw that my checking account we had about $9,000 sitting in checking.
Yeah.
And I knew that 800 of it, and whatever was in here, so probably actually closer to 9 some, was just going to be sitting. Its job, because every dollar, you want to assign every dollar a job, that's the YNAB philosophy, and its job was just to sit there.
Yes.
So if my money is just going to sit there, as it should, because that's its job, and it has capacity, my checking account makes like 0.001% interest.
Yeah.
And my high yield savings account makes 5.5% interest. So if the money's job is to sit there, why not have it sit
in a place where it's going to
generating
free money,
more interest? So I sent all this money away.
Mm-hmm.
I have this little tab here on YNAB to check on it and say, it's getting a little high.
Yeah.
It's not getting too high. It's not high right now. It's because we just moved it all. So then when I want to disperse that money, or I need to look at how much is available, because right now in my actual high yield savings account, it's just a ball of money.
Yeah.
Just a big pile. I like to imagine it just in a room somewhere.
Yeah.
Like green gots. It's just sitting in a pile, but YNAB helps us decide what it's for.
Yes.
You could also do this on a spreadsheet if you're like, this YNAB thing, not for me.
Yep.
So I just have, you can have as many budgets as you want on YNAB, probably 100. I've not tested it with that. I've just got a few. High yield savings account, HYSA, is right there. So I'm a big old nerd, and it makes my brain happy to have this kind of sitting and, dispensed out. Mm-hmm. So we'll start from the bottom. Now we're here. Sinking funds. So I've got this little line here. This is just a line differentiating. There's nothing underneath it. The total goal applies to everything above because there's a savings goal for these things, but there's not really a savings goal for sinking funds.
Yeah.
They're just sitting. They're doing their job and sitting. There is as much as there is, and it is what we have, but there's no like I'm sure we'll hit a number where we want to cap dental and we want to cap medical and all those things, but we haven't really decided on those things yet. So we're just holding money until we feel comfortable. And it's just sitting. So what we've got in here right now is that $400 from dental that I moved over because there was just too much in our checking account. And then our honeymoon, we've been saving for our honeymoon, but we're not going until July. Mm-hmm. So if we've got this money just sitting, waiting, why not have it make 5.5% interest while it's sitting and waiting? And then we'll move it back before we go on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And if we need to spend anything before then, which we already did, this was $2,500, and then we put a deposit down on a room for our honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And so then the rest of it's just sitting and waiting till it's time. And then we'll transfer it over to checking and spend it as normal. And we'll transfer it, the week before we go. It probably wouldn't even take that long. So everything above this line is what applies to this, our total goal. So starting with kitten incident, which is the kitty committee. If something happens to the kitty committee, that's a kitten incident.
Yes.
Kitten situation is when one is really sleepy and on you and you can't move.
Yeah.
But a kitten incident would be something bad happening to them and we need to spend money.
Yeah.
So each of them has an insurance policy, and each of them have a separate deductible that is $500 each. So 1 cat, 2 cat, 3 cat, $500 is the goal, and we're just rolling the money over and letting it. Ideally, it sits here forever and we never have to use it because nothing bad ever happens and they live forever.
Yes.
That's the goal.
That we have immortal cats.
Yeah, our cats are immortal and they're just going to sit here and they're never going to need medical attention or any kind of anything ever.
Yes.
And the money just chills, and that's it. Its job is to sit here, and its goal $1,500, and it sits here forever. Great. Wyatt, this is a long-term savings goal. This one looks a little crazy. This is a long-term savings goal for my nephew, and I want to save his age every week. Mm-hmm. So I did the math, or not really that much math, to see how much that would be every single week for the year that he was that age. Whenever the category gets over like $50, I just toss it in here and we'll just roll it up.
Yep.
And we want to try to catch up because we didn't start doing this until like 2 months ago. So we want to try to catch up. So that's what that is. So right now, so this goal is going to change here in 2 days because it's almost his birthday. Actually, on the day that this posts, it is his birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Wyatt.
Happy 9th birthday, Wyatt.
So we'll move this up and we'll add 1 for 9, and that'll just keep rolling. So that's that portion. So 1,500 plus 1,924. That's part of this. Then my emergency fund. Yes. So the emergency fund that I've got this marked for 6 months. That honestly feels very excessive. But I think we're both worry warts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think
I mean, this is our goal, and then eventually, even on top of that, we each want to have like our own personal emergency funds.
Just in case Shay cheats on me. Basically, this is our base expenses.
Yeah.
So each month, 1 month, about $4,000 would cover our base expenses, no frills. Just like, rent, food, Metro cards, all the things that you need to survive in New York City. And I've got 1 for every month. for up to 6 months. 6-month emergency fund would be ideal. And it's just to mark that it's there. And again, all of that rolls up to here. I like to keep track of where we're at percentage-wise. 11.3% is not bad. And yeah, and then again, this is just taking this pile of money that's in our, that's in that account and making it make sense. So we're saving towards certain and specific things.
Yeah.
And we know what they're for.
Yeah. Notably, one sinking fund that you'll see is not here is our wedding savings.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because we
spending it.
We do. We spend the money
constantly,
well within the 45-day range because we are putting down deposit for things, and we are buying outfits, and sending care packages and all of that stuff.
Weddings are expensive,
and that spending happens pretty regularly.
So we didn't ever put that money in here.
Yeah.
Ideally, after things are settled medically, we'll be rolling the medical fund into here.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably put the vision fund in here too. What else do we have that could probably go in here? Let's discuss. We've never actually sat down and had a conversation about this.
No.
I just did it because I like to touch the budget.
She likes to tap, tap, tap.
I like to tap, tap, tap.
Stare at it and tap, tap, tap.
Some people were talking about, I don't remember if it was on Reddit or what, since this is only coming out once a year, like I pay YNAB yearly. Do we want to put that $108 in the high yield savings account? And for me, because it is, I think Prime is the most expensive one at $150.
Yeah, that doesn't.
But if you think about them all together, that's like $300-400.
It's a lot of moving things back and forth.
That's fair.
Because even though we have certain things that are objectively only coming out once a year, they're staggered throughout.
That's true.
And so if we're going in like once every 2 or 3 months and, having to move things in between in a way that it's not
that feels
super convenient, that feels
steps.
Maybe not worth it.
But if we ever get to a point where we're funding these a full year in advance and the money's just going to sit there, maybe then that's the conversation. But right now we're funding it month by month by month. Combined, it'd be like $300, maybe a little bit more, but not much.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, if we were funding it like immediately, then I'd say, chuck it in the high yield savings. But we're funding them like $8 at a time. So maybe that's like a future state thing.
Yeah.
When we're a year ahead.
I concur.
Cats, we're already doing it.
Yep.
Cat stuff.
Yep.
Again, for insurance, I think if we ever get to a point where we're ready to pay it all up a year in advance, and we can just dump it in there.
That would also be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cat travel is one I would like to, just like our travel, when we get ahead and we're like saving for travel long-term far in advance.
Yes.
But like cat travel right now, it's starting to build up. It's at $75 right now.
And then we're going to pay it out in the middle of April.
Yeah. Probably the beginning, like the first or second week of April, we're going to send it'll be $100 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll send it to my brother because he's watching the cats. So right now we're kind of funding travel as it's coming. Like it's coming up pretty fast. We have a lot of travel in the next year or so.
Yeah. So
I think the cat travel along with our travel, the cats don't travel. It's for when we're traveling and the cats need someone to sit with them.
Yes.
So yeah, I think those things will be tied. Kitten incident, again, whenever I get an itch, I'm going to move it over. And I think we're going to cap it at $500 for now, and then TBD.
Yeah.
We'll discuss after the wedding. Life things. Are there any life things?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
These are things that we spend from frequently.
Maybe tickets, but there's always something good going on.
Yeah, the idea of the tickets category is that we want to spend it more often.
Yes.
We want to see more things. Household. If we're saving up for a long-term, like household fixtures kind of thing, that could maybe be something.
Yeah. I think if we're saving up for something that's any more than $500, then that's definitely something that we can put into the high yield savings account.
Good point. Your $28 for your domain name. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
We'll put that in high yield savings.
Yeah.
These things have some churn again. Yeah. And this is only $60, $68 a year. So again, maybe when we're funding it a year in advance, but not really. Most of these, except for our IRAs.
Yes.
So dental, I want to live in there. Medical, I want to live in there. I've been spending a lot of the medical lately. It's the only reason it's not in there is that I've been spending from it. But it was up to like $300-400. And then I spent it all on having carpal tunnel. The Roth IRAs, are technically sinking funds, but as soon as the money comes in for them, we send it to our Roth IRAs. Vision, what do I want to cap this at? I think is the thing. I have it set as a $15 a month savings. Maybe when it hits $100, I'll just move it over. And then slush fund, this is a brand new category to us, so we haven't decided yet, basically. Maybe if it gets over like $200, but again, the idea of slush fund is
slush fund is that it's available immediately
to
whenever
spend
we
if we
need
need to.
So that's probably the kind of thing that we're going to want to keep available immediately.
Yeah, because I also wouldn't want it to get too big.
Yeah,
I don't need it to be massive. It's just to help cover the gap if Shay has a slow acting month.
Yes.
Gifts and giving. Giving, no. Birthday gifts. So far, we've been spending pretty frequently.
Yes. And also, I do want to become that person that if I see something,
starting buying Christmas gifts in July.
Why not?
It's probably a good idea.
Kind of beautiful.
It does feel kind of beautiful.
Yes.
Credit card payments, nope. Pay those off every month.
Yep.
And then these things, probably, but they're just so small right now.
Yeah.
TSA pre-check, it's every 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's fine if you wait until
passport renewals
until you get an itch.
Yeah, I think that's what's probably going to happen, and then or like I'll get an itch and we'll just fund it all the way. Like we could probably just fund this and then put it away.
Honestly, yeah,
and then put that in there.
Yeah.
We could probably also just cash flow it when it came up and not save for it every month, $287 a month. But I like the reminder that it is something. Nice. And then again, travel. As you can see, we have a trip planned constantly. So April, May, July. And then there's several things there's just so much.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Maybe after July, after we've done the, and then we know we have until probably September. We have until September of 25 before these big trips are coming. So maybe then we can move the $300 over into high yield savings for a little while.
Yeah.
But not until after July because there's so much going on. And then Wyatt savings, like I said, every week we put a little bit towards this, and then when it hits $50 or so, I just check it over.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've only saved $16, but we haven't. You saw. And then, like I said, wedding, we spend from constantly. I actually have $192 that's coming out of this
soon,
any moment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't find anything new, really. We just found things that we want to fund 5 years in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got going on.
That's what we're doing for our high yield savings account.
Yeah.
I would love to hear what you think about that. If you guys hate it, if you love it, if you're doing something and you're like, this may actually work better. Drop a line, drop a comment.
Yeah. It took us a long time to get to this system, and I think we're definitely still maybe looking to
finesse it a little bit.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
I think it's working for us right now for sure.
Yeah. Always improving though.
Always improving.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have a high yield savings account and you want to open one, like I said, we like the one we have. It's super simple. It's easy. It only takes a couple days to get things back and forth.
I was having, actually, before I met you, like the worst case of decision fatigue about which high yield savings account I was going to try to open up. I got so caught up in trying to maximize the return that I just didn't open up an account, and I lost out on probably like a year and a half of like full percentage points that I could have been getting back. So if we have any advice to give to you,
just open one.
Just open one.
Just do one. Anyone. It doesn't have. I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to drop a referral link for ours below, but literally anyone. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use ours. Use anyone. Just put any amount of money that you're going to hold on to for a while in there and get a better return on your money. Make your money work for you.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Woohoo.
And we will see you
on Friday.
Boop. I missed. Oh, God. Oh, no.